Hi guys, this is Crossy. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and you are locked into what's a very sort of thrown together last minute affair that I'm working on here. But tonight, the team that I kind of play for, and the team is more like kind of team really, are squaring off in the Gameface Open Wednesday Night Cup. So I thought I'd jump on and bring you some of the action. Provided I can get game sound working, which I am. This is also going to be a decent little test for the quality. Had a few problems with it recently, so I'm going to be testing that one and seeing how this works out instead. Also playing about a bit with the game volume as well. Haven't got the most perfect setup of all time for getting game sound, which I need to work on. So we jump into the game, and it is 1-0 to interp.css currently, but Speedy G in the back steps has taken down two. Proby firing in with a kill of his own. So that's Mick going down, the Perilous team manager stepping in to the playing duties tonight. About 20 seconds left on the clock. Bomb just been picked up. Mixer drops down to the vents and grabs Raz, who's there, before opening up on his teammate, and that's Proby down to 31 HP. Speedy's got some action down in the lower site. Gets taken down, and that's going to be 2-0 to Inter. Also, Perilous, a team I've seen quite a lot in the Enemy Down and UNGL ladder playoff finals. So my money has to be on them. They've got some class players in their team. One or two I-Series LAN finalists. We see action outside. Speedy G does get one, but Dread fires straight in. Nice work making use of the CT pistol. Raz coming in on the rotate behind, taking down Proby. And Perilous going to be looking to try and grab this round if they can. Take it to 2-1 in the favour of the terrorists, but if you can pick up that third round when you've lost the first two, then that is a great position to be in. Raz is cut down by Dan with a bit of help from Al there with the assist. Minute left on the clock then. Bomb up and in the hands of Dread. Things a little bit passive so far. Let's find out where the bomb's going. So working a slow push into lower. The base is down on the walkway, so he's going to spot this as Shy takes down Al. Debaser fires off a couple of shots and misses. No such luck with those. And he's got action all around him in the site. He's tagging up players but not getting the kills. And it's all down to Mick 1v3. Little bit slow on the rotate maybe. And that takes it to 3-0. So first buy versus buy coming up, you'd expect here. And plenty of cash in the Perilous hands for them to work with. Going to be trying to lock this one down as best they can. Imagine we're going to see a fairly standard setup from these guys. Speedy G going to be taking the outside with the AWP, but he's going to come up onto the balcony. So we could see him getting a bit of action up there very soon. Will they spot him before it's too late? A lot of teams don't seem to. They don't check that balcony until it's too late and one or two players have gone down when they push on the outside. And once you get caught there once, you're going to be lucky to get away with it again. But you know, sometimes that helps. If you can make players peak angles that you normally wouldn't check as a master course, it might give you that extra split second to make the pick when you got action. As we see a nice aggressive push into ramp room. And Dread goes straight down, but Raz is on the spray down. He takes down two straight away with Debaser on the walkway there to back up. Al does manage to grab Proby as well, so it's Shy, last man standing, and he's cut down quite comprehensively there. And Perilous snatched that first buy versus buy round. Quite surprised to see interp drop down into the lower site as quickly as they did. Not that I'm complaining, as I do feel, from the most part, that the team spends a little bit too much time messing around in ramp room and trying to work on some kind of flashy rotate. But from that point, they dropped down. There was two Perilous players in there, and they did the job. So nice to see I'm proven wrong once in a while, eh? Gonna try and work a boost on the outside if they can. Squeaky door pushed open. Debase is sitting right next to that. Dread spams a couple of shots through, but nothing other than that so far. Slow and patient build up. Proby probably going to jump up on the yellow and try and make a pick happen there if he can. I'll check with Speedy G's playing it, and he's given up with the rafters. Proby does go for it, fires off a couple of shots, but all that's done is alert Speedy to where he's going to be coming from potentially. 40 seconds left to go on the clock, and still it's 5 versus 5. Tense. Interesting. But sometimes you just got to get to the point where you got to hit something fast, and Proby's in there trying to take on an AWP with a Glock. Not sure how well that's going to work for him. Al now to back up and try and stop any move down into front steps, and he has done just that. Debaser at his spot in right vent, or left vent depending on how you look at it, trying to get some spray down to the hut, and does so. Misses the second chance, but whips out the pistol and manages to get the job anyway. Timer ticks down, Raz mops up shy, and that is 2 rounds in favour of Perilous on the bounce now. And this has all been before out on Nuke. It's one of those maps that's undergone a bit of a redressing of the balance, I think is the best way that you could put it. Used to be quite a heavily CT-sided map for the most part. But we have seen that change now as we look at the financial situation for interp, which is not looking good if they drop this one. Perilous probably have the cash to buy for another couple of rounds if they do drop this one. Raz and Debase, nice work with the spraying of the weapons. Dan does manage to get one mopping up, but he's taken down to a lowly 1 HP, and he's found by Debase, who also manages to grab Shy on the site. Al mopping up finally, taking down Dread, and that is 3-0. So from this point, it'd be interesting to see if interp go for a part buy here. They could grab cheap guns, get a Galil. Not a bad option at all, the Galil, compared to what it used to be in previous incarnations. I always used to favour the Defender at points, as it was called, for times when you might catch the odd spray down, like if you're deciding you want to play aggressive when you're holding tunnels on Dust 2. As Speedy G takes down Proby with the AWP shot. He's got more action coming in, and he's got Debasa stepping in to try and back up, who's done a nice job as he's already got Dread and Mixer over there. Got more action as we've got Dan trying to make something happen, and nice work with the Glock. That is a seriously powerful pistol, that Glock, since it's undergone a bit of a change. It's a bit of a call to change that and balance things out a little bit. But I think it's part of what seems to be a trend that the developers have gone through to try and make this less T-sided, less CT-sided, sorry, I should say. And by evening up the pistol, they've certainly done that. By moving a few of the bomb sites so that they're easier to reach, for example, back steps becoming front steps. The A bomb site on train, for example, 2 examples where bomb sites have been moved around to favour the terrorists. But it doesn't seem to be working out too well for interp here so far. They've lost 4 on the spin. They are back on a buy. But Perilous haven't got too much to worry about. They've got a couple of terrorist side AKs in their hand that they've managed to pick up from previous rounds. And Raz gets himself on top of the box and makes very light work of Dan, just crushing him as he tries to step through and make something happen through that smoke and ramp. Get on board and see what's happening with the bomb, which is just sitting in the squeaky room. Bomber trying to push through. That's a bit ambitious, and Debaser makes very light work there. And Mick, the team manager, trying to get in on the action as well as Mixer goes down. Speedy G is caught by Proby. Those two are having an interesting duel outside. But that's all it was, and that is 5-3. Debaser sitting there top of the scoreboard, 13-3 and 5 gold stars. Very impressive performance from him, and the way he's picking up those frags is just being there when the interp players start to work on somewhere. A couple of times we've seen him step out into main and peek towards that red container that we'd just seen there a second ago and cut down any movement into front steps. And this could be a spray down, maybe not. Mick gets one, but he should have done better there as interp barrel through into the upper site. Raz and Speedy are mopping things up now. Raz, nice work in the lobby. He's got 2. All down to Dan now. 1v1 though. Bomb in hand. What can he make happen against the AWP of Speedy G? AWP scope trained exactly where Dan's going to be hopping out. Misses the shot. Oh, he's caught him. He's managed to catch him through the hut, and Dan's down to 12 HP, but it wasn't a death, and that's all that matters. Managed to barrel himself down into the lower area. Trying to work a fake here if he can. This is risky, because if he steps out into that AWP scope, then he is going down. And here we see as Dan goes and makes his way to the back of the site with 12 HP, which his teammates may well have called. And that nade could do the job straight away. No, the pistol does. So they had a chance there, interp. That push through into upper worked a little better than I thought it was going to. I thought Mick was going to get himself into that spot above the hut and just spray down, but no such luck for him there. Only managed to pick up the one frag. Nice work by interp, managing to get themselves in there and at least get a bomb plant on there, but just couldn't lock it down, and it is 6-3. Winning that first round on pistol on T-side is useful, and then you can usually mop up the next 2 rounds, which has happened here. 3 is not a bad point to build from, but if you start getting to the point of dropping another 2-3 and sitting at 9-3, that's when you might start to panic a little bit. On board with Speedy, and he's getting tagged up pretty heavily from the outside. Didn't get the chance to crack off a shot. Al, in the meantime, takes down Proby. Speedy gets himself up top with the AWP. Is he going to get a bit of action on the outside? Well, he might well do, potentially. See what this bomb's going to get on board with Mixer. So 30 odd seconds left to go. Interp spread out and not really decided where they're going to hit. Looks like they're going to make a move on lower, but taking their sweet time over it. 20 odd seconds left to go on the clock, and the bomber hasn't even tried to make his way into the site yet, and the bomber is taken down at the top of the ramp. Shy trying to fire in with a frag, but if you drop the bomb up there, you are going to get yourself in a bit of trouble. Shy again trying to make something happen. And he does manage to take Speedy down to about half HP, but Speedy's not having that. Steps straight out, cuts him down, and 7-3 it is. Finances, again, not brilliant for Interp. They've got enough to scrape a buy together here. And of course, with the way the economy works on this game now, you do get a bit of an advantage given to you. The amount of money you increase it, or you get increases if you're losing a number of rounds on the bounce, which is an interesting element to put into it. As we see a push into the back steps. This hasn't worked particularly well for Interp because Debase has been there mopping up, and he's done it again. This time from back vents, cut down 2 players straight away. Leaves it to a 1v5, P90 in hand, Mixer getting caught from both angles as Al steps in. Call him all angles, Al, I'm sure he'll appreciate that. (8-3) then in favour of this Perilous team. Virtually everyone in this match is, would qualify as old school gamers, have been around a long old time. So for the first time in a while, I'm not saying that Perilous are making their experience count, as I wouldn't say that's a fair comment compared to Interp and the amount of years that those players have racked up combined. Plenty of bullets getting traded. Debase has got a chance to make a shot through that broken door there at Squeaky. And he does take that opportunity to take down Dread. Popping him square in the dome. And again, the bomb finds itself sort of hanging around the lobby radio room area, not really looking to move in anywhere as Speedy G takes down Proby on the outside area again. Those two are duking it out, but it's the Perilous player that is coming out on top at virtually every opportunity. And Mixer nearly drops the bomb in a silly position again as he goes and tries to peek outside and take on the AWPer with his P90. And makes very little sense to me. I'm surely you'd expect that he's going to still be there as Al manages to grab Shy as he steps in through the door. And Mick manages to grab Mixer as he steps out through Squeaky. And as we see things unfold here, it's like Interp was short of ideas. You know, they came out second best when the picks were being traded, and from that point the bomb just sat around not doing very much in the lobby area. So a few things to build on. A few improvements that need to be made. We see another full buy. I think it's going to have to be somewhere fast. Try and work somewhere a lot quicker than they have been, because they're coming out second best when it comes down to picks. Debaser is making very light work of any kind of pushes in areas that he's in. You know, racking up frags in bunches. Speedy G doesn't look like he's going to be beaten in the outside exchanges as well, which is worrying signs for Interp coming into the second half, even if they do manage to rack up a couple more rounds here. Mixer trying to trade with the P90, but again he's got Debaser coming in from behind. That guy's everywhere. He's like Frank LeBeuf. Now Interp look to try and get something going. Dan and Proby with a couple of quick frags. Debaser though is again grabbing himself a nice little spot where he can jump out and pick up a couple of frags as he wants. Mick just holding his spot on top of the rafters, and it is a good spot to hold, it seems, because he's managed to grab Dread as he pushes into the site. Dan goes down as well. So from what was a 4v2, it is now 2v1 in favour of Perilous. Shy's got it all to do. AWP in hand. 25 seconds left to go on the clock. He has got the bomb in the site if he can get in there, but with his weapon of choice, he's got to try and pick off these two if he can. He has been tagged down, and Debaser does manage to grab the frag there. So he's already mopped himself up 21. And a lot of these haven't been from people directly pushing him. It's just been from his very clever moving around the map and being in the right place at the right time. And it's taken a bit of a free roll, which is great. And one of those players, when they try it and it doesn't work, then you're the guy that just gets cut down every time and leads your team up against it. You won't make many friends for that, but when you're on it, like Debaser is on it, well, big things can happen. And again, he's dropped down lower and he's straight in at range, but making use of good gun control. Proby does come in and catch him behind now, so with Debaser down, there is a chance of something happening. Raz is tagged down to low HP as well. He's just holding in the lower area. Not so much now, though, as Mick manages to grab Shy as he steps into the right door. Dread, last man standing. What's he got left in the tank? Hasn't got a P90 or a TMP in hand, so might struggle here. Maybe not, as he takes down Mick. Nice work there. Still got plenty of time to make something happen with 30 odd seconds left on the clock. Let's see where the Perilous players are. So we've got 1 bottom of ramp and 2 in the upper area. Apologies, just had to check and see if I got a message on Mumble. I am potentially first sub for this match if anyone drops out, so I've got to keep an eye on these things. Not sure I'm too keen to jump into this one. It's not looking great for my interp team. As I try again to make something happen on the outside. Let's get on board with Speedy and see if he can be as solid as he has been so far. Or will he show a moment of weakness? Oh, hang on. We've got a pause. Right, that might explain it. Hang on, I'm going to do my team duty here. I've got Speedy on Steam. Let me know when you want to unpoise. Unpoise?
I did time for I'm ready. Can they not see it?
You're ready to go then, yeah?
Yeah.
Alright, just giving them the ready to go. Should be looking at the game resuming very soon. In the meantime, let's have a look at the situation we got so far. So we're currently sitting at the final round of this first half. 11-3 in favour of Perilous. Debaser absolutely running the show. The guy has been a beast. As you see the action resume. And who is it picking up the frags? Oh, that would be Debaser, wouldn't it? Action resuming on the outside. Plenty of bullets being traded. More bullets flying than your average Batman commercial and average Batman premiere, I should say. But Dan trying to make something happen here. P90 in hand. Unleashing a flurry of bullets at the rate of knots. 3v3, 40 seconds left to go. Final round of this first half, which has been largely Perilous sided after an early couple of rounds on the board for Interp. And they're sitting at 3-2 here. Twenty seconds left to go on the clock. Speedy manages to grab Shy, and it's all down to Dan. Got himself onto site, doesn't have a bomb to plant. Only got about 15 seconds to play with as well, so I am expecting this is going to be 12-3. So Perilous going into this second half. As I just grab myself a biscuit, we get ready for the second half. Got various chat messages bouncing around as we get ready for the second half. Interp with it all to do, need to pick up this first CT round if they can. Could be a tough ask with the scintillating form that Perilous Gaming seem to be in during this match. And pretty much every time I've seen them in action, these guys are virtually the team I'm shoutcasting every time in the finals when there is either an ED or a UNGL Open Ladder playoff. Something that always seems to come up with these vastly experienced players. They will have been around a long time, and I've been playing since early 2005. I'm 24 now. A lot of these guys will have been around same kind of time. People I recognise from way back in the day when I was starting out. And with various things going on, jobs that we've been in a while, rent, mortgages, etc., etc., gaming kind of takes a back seat compared to the days when you weren't old enough to drink and gaming seemed like a better option than going out and kicking a football around until it got dark or whatever. As we see frags being traded, and Interp came off second best on that one, but there is still a chance that they can make something happen. Proby taking down to 2 HP from range from Debaser, showing the power of the Glock there. And he very wisely pops back up into the upper sight, so he doesn't want a piece of that. But Perilous decide they're going to come in anyway, and instead of setting up for a lower plant, they do just barrel into upper, get the plant down, take down Proby, who's sitting next to the vents, and it's all down to Shy to try and make something happen. Did pick up a Glock, wise choice, but he's cut down quite comprehensively there, and Perilous take the first round of this second half. I'd expect they're going to take the next two and guarantee themselves a draw. Haven't really been put under too much pressure. Aside from that one round where Interp barreled into upper, and you feel that Mick on the rafters might have been able to do better. Aside from that, Perilous look seamless, they look organised. They look well drilled as always, with a little bit of individual brilliance from Debaser, for example, and from Speedy G with his AWP, who came out on top for the most part against Proby, who is fairly comfortably the most talented player in the Interp CS lineup. Perilous make very light work of that push into lower, and 2-0. Next round for Perilous gets them the draw. One after that picks them up the win, and that's shown by the Interp choice of weapons as they buy what they can. So you would expect that if they don't come out on top of this one, they're not going to have enough cash to throw together to keep it alive and fight for the draw. Maybe that'll force them to go en masse into a site, though. That seemed to be the one thing that worked quite well for them. Got the closest they'd come to a round, pretty much, once he got into buy versus buys, as Mick comes in and he's mopped up too. I know I sound surprised, but Mick did start out as a part of the Perilous lineup, but has since dropped into a management role. That's always been his thing, really. He formed Perilous years and years ago, and is more than happy to take a back seat, but still seems to be getting some playing time, as it's once again all down to Shy. He's got 4 players to kill and a bomb to defuse, and he's not going to get that opportunity as the draw is bought up. Interp just getting hold of whatever guns they can. They have no choice. And we see a Nova in the mix. Got an, I think I saw an MP7 get grabbed. And we're going to see an outside-inside kind of split. Fairly standard split and pick kind of setup as that AWP shot cracks off. Speedy had a nibble at someone but didn't tag anyone. Debasa trying to make something happen now, and he's getting rope-a-doped around the boxes. Again, hasn't managed to do any damage. And Debasa, oh, nice work, and he just manages to catch a glimpse of Shy's head, and that's all he needs to make the frag. Just catch him at the back of the site. Bomb going to get planted. 2 men left alive, 4 interp. Can they pull off the impossible? Speedy up takes one of them, so it's all down to Dread. Steps out with a deagle in the rafters, does get Debasa, but he's got Speedy in there to back him up almost instantly. That is the win, and that is 16-3 in favour of Perilous. So that was just a very last minute game. I was scrabbling about trying to find the TV IP, get my XSplit up, all of that good stuff. So that won't be the best game I've ever covered, but just wanted to get something down there. So that'll be going live on the YouTube channel. And it's also a good chance to test my updated settings. So if any of you find this, thanks a lot for watching.